Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart with another episode of Common Sense. First of all, I want to thank so many of you who are giving me feedback and you're talking about how you're passing on these episodes to others. I want to thank you who are subscribing. And remember, if you subscribe and let us know that you've subscribed, we will give you the code to do an instant download of one of my radio specials. My radio specials are patriotic stories of history. Some have said, you sound a lot like Paul Harvey. Now, Paul Harvey was a giant and I'm just a little guy. But the point though is he told great stories of history in our America that encouraged us. And that's what I like to do. Now, I've been thinking a lot about what I'm hearing from all the various groups around our country. And I'm noticing that so many of the things that I was taught when I was a young boy, so many are gone. So many, when you talk to the young people about those things, they kind of look at you like, what are you talking about? So I thought I would take a few moments today and I would tell you what I call things my father taught me. Now, my father was an interesting fellow, short little guy. Thought he was John Wayne. I mean, nothing stopped him. He feared nothing. And he didn't talk very much, unlike me, who my mom used to say, Jerry, you talk too much. But my dad was an interesting fellow because he didn't talk very much. But when he talked, well, let me give you a comparison. What do you get when you cross an 800-pound tiger with a parrot? Well, nobody knows, but one thing you do know, when he talks, you better listen. And that's the way it was with my dad. A man of few words, but when he talked to us kids, we better listen. And the great thing was because he picked his words carefully and he thought through what he wanted to teach us and what he wanted to say, everything we talked about turned out to be a life lesson for me. So I want to share with you today 3 of the things that my dad consistently taught me that I believed helped me to be a better person, a better man. First of all, he said, son, always have your shoes shined. Now, that's one that threw me. I always shine my shoes, but I never understood what is the deal with whether I've got shined shoes or not. What does that have to do with my character? So one day I asked him, he said, well, think about this. He said, on your body, your feet are the thing that's farthest from your eye. And so he said, there's a high probability that if your shoes are shined, that the rest of your body will be well kept and you'll be clean and nice. And it has to do with appearance. And I definitely believe that, of course, you can't judge someone that by their cover, by what they wear. You can't judge the book. But there is something to say about when you come up to someone and you can see that they're nicely dressed and they're well kept, you're more apt to want to hear what they say. So, number 1, he would say, make sure that your shoes are always shined. The next thing that he would say to my brother and I, boys, when you ever shake a man's hand, give him a good, firm handshake and look him right in the eye. Now, things have changed a lot. Used to be, you would never offer your hand, a shaking hand, to a woman. You would give them a nice, respectful greeting, but you would not offer your hand. Of course, today things are different, and men and women are shaking hands. But back then, when you were shaking a man's hand, it was important, he said, to give that man a good, firm handshake and to look him right in the eye. His idea was that, first of all, you wanted to show the person that you had confidence and that you had confidence in your strength. Number 2, You allowed that person to look into your eyes, to look into your soul, to see who you were. And if you think about it, when you meet someone, you can tell a lot about that person by, well, how they look at you, how they allow you to look inside their eyes. Number 3, my dad said, never be late. Never leave anyone waiting. Now, of course, that's one that I'd say there's a whole lot of people who've never learned that one. But the idea, he said, was that when you cause someone to wait, you're disrespecting them. You say, well, how can that be? Well, you're telling them that their time is worth nothing and that you're willing to be late just to waste their time. So then think about it. He said, first of all, have a self-respect for yourself by the way you walk, by the way you dress, by the way you act. He said, second, allow people to look inside of you with your eyes when you're having that handshake, when you're talking with people. Number 3, always give proper respect to people. And I can tell you something, there's a lot out there today that shows me that so many have not passed that ideal along, or they've passed it along and the young people have just chosen not to care. I was talking with a man today at church, and I asked him, I said, what did your father say to you that really sticks out in your mind? And here's what he said. My dad said, son, when you do something, do it right. Don't do anything halfway. And I would add this, and do not quit. Do not allow yourself to quit. Now, here's what I would like to do. I would like to have you send me just a few simple words of the things that you were taught when you were a child. I'd love to make this great long list and maybe even make up a poster, maybe even make up shirts. I'm not really sure, but I would love so much to hear from you. Would you do that for me? Would you just go down below where it says comment and just say, this is what my mom or my dad or my grandfather, grandmother, whoever, this is what I was taught that I really remember and I think that it was worthwhile. Would you do that for me? I mean, it really excites me when I get responses back. Also, too, please, please, please subscribe. Now, some people think subscribe means, oh brother, I'm going to get a bill, or people are going to start bugging me, or my name's going to show up somewhere, you're going to sell my name. We do not do that. All the subscribe means, and honestly, I wish they used a different word. All it means is we get to see how we can contact you. And then we can send you special offers for free programs. We can send you special, ideas that we have that would not be available to folks who weren't a subscriber. So, I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to what my father had to say and what he taught me. Once again, please subscribe. Once again, if you like what I've said, give me a thumbs up. Now, if you don't like what I've said or you disagree, that's okay. Give me the thumbs down, but then take a moment and tell me why. Last thing. So many of the young people today are spending all their free time looking at their telephone, texting, emailing, messaging, tweeting, and most grandparents are saying they don't care what I have to say. They don't want to know what it was like when I was a kid. I promise you, the things that we learned back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s, the things that we learned in life that are gone now. Listen carefully. If we do not pass them on, they are gone forever. Is that what we want? Do we want our America to become something completely different than what it was meant to be? I don't think so. So, once again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jerry Stewart. This is another episode of Common Sense. God bless you, and God bless America. Bye-bye.